Like maybe one if we're lucky here.
Great play call on 3rd and 11.
As you mentioned, Rutgers wanted to
Jesus
improve on
Christ.
their run defense. They come up with
We think they're playing. We're not in range to play for a field goal, are we?
No, but we could be at the 12 and not be in range for a field goal with this squad.
That's a great point.
The kicking situation and the way that it's been.
I just hate the conservativeness, man.
You're pretty sure that you're not going to go for a
of the
field
play
goal there.
calling
I'm surprised that
and the way they do manage the clock and shit.
With the expectation
So
being,
irritating.
especially since you're thinking 4-down territory.
What's up, Bass Fishing? What's up, Katie? Big Smoke in the house. Aeon. There goes the blocked punt.
Woo! That's roughing.
There's no flag.
I know he hit the ball.
Oh, great. Now our punter's hurt. What a treat for us. Damn, that doesn't look good.
Bright spot of our special teams.
Yeah.
Senior punter for Nebraska when we come back.
The only bright spot in our Vanta Black
Geico has fast fair claims 24/7.
level of
Can you help a small brain football person like myself understand something?
Sure.
You go to these microphones and cameras and openly talk about how bad your special teams are. And then you still try to do everything by the book as far as let's just run this here and punt it, or let's be a little more conservative or take these field goals when we need it. Your strongest asset is your quarterback in your passing game. Like, why is there not more urgency? Or they have to stop looking at things from a normal football perspective because they don't have the units to play that way.
What do you want to? But what do you want to bet that all week your guy, your favorite Cornhusker, our long snapper? What do you want to bet the guy that you said should be our starting quarterback? And I was like, calm down.
Captain of the team.
What do you want to bet that he was just crushing it this week during practice? I bet you his snaps were lightning quick, deadly accurate all week.
Since before the season started, how great everyone's doing in practice.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that you're wrong in this scenario. I'm just saying what likely led to thinking that we can play it by the book and let's give our guys a chance and let's see what they can do on special teams. You know, and it's like, no. How about no, though? They can't do it, Gary. But I agree with you 100%. And you know me, I'm more of the play it by the book guy. Nah. Just throw it. Just go. I didn't realize that run was 3rd and 11.
That's what I'm saying. I'm fine with them trying to run and establish the run. They're not a great run-stopping team, especially when you
3rd and 11. I would love to watch Raiola throw the ball.
You don't have the special teams unit to go, well, and who knows how the defense is if defense is going to come out and give up 7-yard plays all the way down the field and 5 and 6 yards on first down and missed tackles. You don't want them getting the ball back without putting points on the board anyways. Like, the play calling needs to be very aggressive on the offensive end early on until you have a big enough lead or a cushion that you can start calling stuff like this.
Did you see that?
Oh, he hurt his hip worse when his torso hit the ground.
And his knee probably ain't feeling good after that helmet.
But look at it like on his hips where
attaboy Buschini. Pop back up there.
Can ill afford to lose another starter.
They would have needed to take Gary out with a helicopter.
Life flight.
Okay.
I'll tell you when they snap it here. Don't do anything that might piss me off.
All right. I'm going to snap first, right?
Yeah.
Rutgers will take over.
Snap. Oh, no, he just clapped. Snap. You probably got the snap, right?
Snap.
Yeah. Damn it, I'm still a little ahead. Incomplete.
It's good defense.
We'll get it on 2nd down. Romp with a terrific comment. Says it all. Says, watching Nebraska made me realize why they call it special teams. Okay.
The Huskers. Yeah, I thought it was going to be important that Rutgers stay balanced out.
All right, I'm going to do it again here.
But if you're Ethan Kelly-McManus, you cannot miss the layups like you had on that last play.
Snap.
Snap.
All right, we gooch.
Gifford just
Long
got
guy out to the edge.
Broke
First
the tackle.
down. The
Should've been a
Hartzog
3-yard
was
loss.
sent.
We've seen the run game
He just
from
said we've
Rutgers.
seen the quarterback Raiola,
We've
but he
seen
accidentally
special
said
teams become a
we've
factor
seen the
already.
quarterback.
And we have 15
Quarterback.
minutes in the books here in
Now that's a
Lincoln.
Freudian slip if I've ever heard
7-0
one.
Nebraska.
I don't even think Raiola is a quarterback, TBH. Mr. Rod said, okay, 5 yards or more each run. This ain't going to cut it. We have stopped them a couple of times. It's our run defense hasn't been completely soft. But, yeah, this is a really good running team with the third best running back in college, number 1 in the Big Ten. Bruce Davis's guys, I just got married in the Philippines. It's 4:44 a.m.
Today? He got married today?
Yeah, dude. Congratulations.
Today's me and my wife's 5-year anniversary.
Whoa.
So
That's
we're
cool.
anniversary cousins.
Wow. Bruce, is your wife a Filipino? Is she from the Philippines? And if so, what's that stuff called? What's that egg delicacy?
I don't know. I'm not racist like you. I don't see food as those people's
You're right.
food or
You're
these
right.
people's
You're
food.
right.
I just see it as food.
You're right. No, Mike.
No, that's not it.
What's that thing? It's like it's an egg, but like there's like a bird embryo in it, and it's like there's feathers on it and a beak and talons, and you eat it.
Like bird nest soup.
Jesus, no.
That's a real thing,
Really?
supposedly.
I can't think of what it's called. I was gonna say don't eat that. And now that you're married,
do.
maybe you could ask for some soup. You know? Cornborn Mike said, yo, 7-0 Nebraska. Yeah, can we just pause life and just enjoy that we're up 7-0? And why is the scoreboard not saying such? I'm about to have to come down on you to make it right, Gary, and you're not going to like that.
Well,
You're not going to like what I do to you. There we go. Brady said, stop the count. Yes! Rutgers are clearly trying to steal this game. It's already won.
Evil Sipple said,
Evil
Gary,
Sip in the house.
I'll super chat $100 if you eat some bird whatever soup on live stream. Like, how much of it do I have to eat?
Ugh. Bird nest soup sounds... It sounds like a fever dream from Charlie Day on
They're
It's
answering
Always
your
Sunny.
question of that meal you were asking about.
Balut. Thank you. It's called balut. Yeah. So don't eat balut.
What's the soup you're talking about? Or is that it? Is that a soup? Or is he talking about the bird nest soup?
No one knows what that is but you, Gary.
I don't even know
Stop
100% what it is. It was a trivia question once. But I mean, I'll try just about anything.
You ain't trying no bird nest soup. Let's be
Bro.
honest.
Let's be honest. I'll try almost anything. And if it's like, if you said you'll give me $1 to eat something, almost like, if you're just like,
you're
won't
one of
do it,
them.
then I'll do it. I kind of am.
You would have been fun to be friends with in high school. We loved our friends like that, but we abused them, you know. Made them eat all kinds of things.
It's crazy because I'm a pretty picky eater. It's like, I'll try
The
stuff.
next
and then
couple of plays.
Hand off.
pull shit down.
This
All right.
one out.
And we're going to get a third down stop opportunity. Guys, we got 116 watching now. Thank you for coming and hanging out. If you haven't hit that like button, now is your only chance. And we don't want you to miss it.
50% here is Monongai right on cue.
God forbid what happens if you don't hit it.
Oh, shit.
We didn't want to talk about that.
Guy was not part of the sequence.
I think you're starting to scare people. You're very free.
Me apologies.
All right, come on. Don't let him run outside. Killing us on the outside runs.
He's only attempted 3
Good
throws.
defense.
Yeah, let's go!
So lucky.
Broken up by
Buford,
Marquise
baby.
Buford.
Fourth down.
It was Buford, baby.
You kidding? Look how much of a gap when he turns.
Yeah, was this man? That was not Hartzog. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that. I know. That's why I was joking.
Goes up through the hands.
Even on the break, he didn't get much.
I'll tell you what's funny.
A break. That's what I was saying. He's locking them down like Hartzog does. Hands down, our best cover corner. So who's out there with them? Is Hill still in, or what are we doing? No, it looks like Wright's down at the bottom.
Yeah, I
Right?
don't see him. Please be offsides. Please, please, please. Timeout.
We don't want it to be offsides. That was wrong.
I mean, you know what I mean. Shut the hell up. You know what I mean.
Yeah, but he's still learning how football works.
Me gets excited, confused, the words get all jumbled up in my mouth, and I can speak no good. All right? But yeah. Evil Sipple is actually here, man. What a world. Brady goes offensive offsides. Yeah, thank you. God.
What did he say?
Offensive offsides. Instead of false start. That's some Chris shit, bro.
That's
Chris,
some,
are you listening? Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't, Big Smoke. Maybe it does, and I just don't have it shown. But yeah, we were doing like a actual like Manning cast style with a lot more of the game shown, and that didn't bode well for Peacock at least. So we were like, well, let's go back to the old style and play it safe, but
You should have tried that with that style with a different game.
yeah.
It makes sense. It's always they do the one a year with all these random teams trying to get people to all sign up and then cancel after the game and then bank that they won't
Yeah.
remember to cancel it. And they got all that money coming in, so you know they were going to crack down, but you're too small brained to consider that.
Peacock's not that bad, man. They got some good stuff on there. They're trying hard with the sports angle, you know. But I just like how all of a sudden every individual company that's ever made a TV show is like, we should have our own app. And we're going to pull our stuff off of everyone else's. It's like, come on. That's not what this was for. You're ruining a good thing. Like when parents started dabbing, it was over.
I just wish teams would have their own. Like if there was a Nebraska app, I could spend $100 a year on. All the games are on there, all the volleyball games, all the basketball.
Yeah, I thought Hartzog, and maybe he'll have time to do this in his senior year, but I just thought he was going to be our next like superstar corner. And by superstar, I mean to the level of Dejan Gomes. Okay. Like that's all we're talking here. Somebody who goes pro and it was really nice, you know. But do you think he's going to be able to go pro being such a man liability that, you know, we see it being that way?
Not now. Like it.
As a freshman, I was
think he
blown
could
away
be.
because he has such good ball skills, and it
He's got really good
seemed
ball
like
skills.
he had a knack, like the ball just wanted to be in his hands. Not unlike Honey Badger.
Yeah, but he's
not as good.
Physical and
He's
not
not
as
yeah.
versatile.
For sure. Poor man's Honey Badger. Kyle says he could be a safety in the NFL.
I think he's too small.
I think he's too small. Yeah.
But what is he? Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Braun Cobra with the laughing avocado emoji with a $10 dono. Thank you, Braun Cobra. If you meant to have a comment, let us know. We'll read it.
Oh, man. That food looks good, bro.
Ash Hay says, leave the chat window on the left minimized. I want to. I really do. So if you guys don't understand why I'm doing it this, godforsaken way,
We're just afford.
Yeah. we did it really open and visible. We got popped last week. Our stream disappeared from the ether in the third quarter, just out of nowhere. It was gone. And we got a copyright strike, which is the serious strike. It's a serious copyright hit. So we were, for a whole week, unable to live stream. And the live stream ban just went up literally 5 minutes before the game started. And that's why we were late starting. So I'm just trying to cover it up and stuff and not show the game as much as possible. But I still want to give you guys the important parts,
What happens if we get another strike? We shut down for like 3 months or something. 90
well, they
days?
said
What's
you're
the 90-day deal?
They said you're going to get the electric chair. And
That's
that
what I
I'd be
planned.
okay. They were going to let me
Okay.
go scot-free.
As long as you can keep the channel going.
Yeah.
All right.
But you'll be cut out. Whoa, whose hand was... Oh, I thought your wife just reached on screen, but it was old boy. I'm smart.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's his nickname.
Here we go.
I didn't know that.
Working through the argument
Next
for
time I see
it.
him in LA, I'll apologize. 4th down and 3
They're
for
going.
Rutgers. They need to get to the 33-yard
Uh-oh. Come on, boys. A little pressure. Not much open. No. Woo! Buford again. Okay, what do I want to do as the coach, Gary?
That might have been a worse pass than Raiola's.
It was. He should have just thrown
Raiola
it.
threw it straight to a guy. He threw it straight in the middle of 3 guys.
What do I want to do here, Gary?
What do you mean?
I'm the coach. What would I be doing here?
Well, you'd probably just run 2 plays and milk all the clock and go into halftime.
We've called his name a bunch of times.
And then if they
today,
come out and
but
score
I have
first drive of the
no
second half,
idea
you'd be like,
what
whoa.
Kelly McManus was
Whoa.
trying to do there. Just
Say
Why is this
something.
game so close?
Say something like that again, and I'm sending you anthrax. Okay. Here we go.
Each have thrown a pick.
especially right at that
So,
interior.
what
Talk
if
about
what would you feel differently if you were confident that the Huskers can run the ball down the throat and just go down there and get a score? Would that change
I'm
your
fine
mind?
with what they're doing here. But
Career start today.
at this point,
Come
in the
on,
game,
Rye! What a throw!
Turning upfield,
Good catch,
Jamal
too.
Banks.
at this
God, I
point,
love Banks.
from what I've seen this first half, I'm not worried about the defense. If we have to go back out, we go back out. Like the defense is
And the Huskers are
giving
on
up
the
some
move.
plays, missing some tackles here and there, but no points, not even really getting in field goal range. They've attempted 2 long ones, one got blocked. But you've got to try and find some rhythm for your offense before half so that hopefully you can come out and on kind of a high note or go off on a high note. But the thing I am worried about with the defense is how long they can keep
First catch of the day for Banks.
sustaining.
We're lucky we got
mediocre
halftime
long
coming up.
drives.
6 receiving
Yeah,
yards the last 2 weeks.
and not giving up points. I feel like if that
Ramir, look at Ramir! Look at Ramir, my beautiful boy! Didn't he get hurt against Rutgers?
And the Huskers are
Was that
rolling.
Rutgers last year?
See, a real fan would know.
I don't think we played Rutgers last year, did we?
I'm talking like at some point, one of his injuries, because he's gotten injured.
So you're
like 6
saying heard he
times.
got more than once? Is that what you're
Yes.
gonna try and sell me?
Yes. I know it's hard to believe.
He's really done a tremendous job. Not just a road grader, got some good feet.
Gain of 8.
I'm gonna have a T-shirt made that's has a big milk carton on it. It's gonna have Gabe
My
Irvin's
face.
picture. No, Gabe Irvin's picture on it.
Hey, be quiet. My queen is talking.
our queen. Our entire
No.
country's queen.
Oh, wait, it's anti your
It's
queen.
anti-queen?
Yep. Colin said fake punt incoming. God, no.
Go out on first down and punt formation.
Zaga, we're hiding a lot more, man. And it's not Peacock. So that's really the big kicker we're hoping. We're thinking. Like 90% sure, 95. Big Smoke said, I didn't know Rutgers had fans. Yeah,
Dude, I was hanging with Ohio State. It's only 7-0, third quarter.
wow.
You said wow.
I said wow. All right.
Dude, even that pizza looks good.
You're hungry. You're just
I
a
don't
hungry
care
man.
for pizza, and I do not like pepperoni pizza.
Oh, yeah, you're hungry. Did I mention I had a cheat day yesterday? Let me tell you about it.
What'd you get? Some
Whataburger. Yes. After the gym ski, because I was starving. And then the floodgates are open. Now I can have what I want, right? My dad's here. He has a box of donuts. He has Entenmann's.
I don't like donuts.
Neither do I. Neither do
sweet
I. That's the beauty of it.
I like salt and grease, not sugar.
I didn't even enjoy the chocolate donut. I enjoyed like the first 2 bites. The rest of it was disgusting. But I downed it because it was a cheat day. Do you follow me? I'm allowed. And I want to get me money's worth. So, then breakfast. I was up all night. I had to go pick up my car. It was I got the keys configured, gold-plated. Yeah. I have to have gold keys. And so I ordered from like my favorite breakfast place here and smashed it. Smashed it, Gary. They give you like for your bread on the side, they give you like an English muffin with homemade raspberry preserves.
I'm good.
But I'm back on the straight and narrow.
Corey, I don't dislike, I like pepperoni on my pizza, but like my kids always want to get pepperoni or like a cheese pizza. To me, that's like getting a burger that has like the thinnest patty on it and nothing else. Like, put some shit on it is what I'm saying.
And here I called a game.
But I like pepperoni.
2020, which is.
So we'll take the delay of game here, and maybe that'll buy.
That's a good point. You could try to throw like a comeback route and try to get a
it's like just a little
pass
confusion
interference.
of how they want to go about
have your
this.
receiver come back through the end.
I really don't
give you
understand.
15 yards.
I do not understand not taking a shot. Because just like this is a good time for you to practice a kick, this is a great time to practice a fourth and long at the end of a game or the end of a half when you need something. You don't need it right now. I
don't think that 10 seconds is short enough time for that. Like if you take a shot and don't get it, they're going to have the ball back with a play on their side of the 50, on our side of 50. Which likely nothing's going to happen.
You're going to kick it. Boom, shakalaka! Suck on that!
And that'll land in the field of play.
Takes a Husker bounce and it stays in. Don't touch it.
Yep. I'll leave that on the field. Let time expire.
There you go.
And that's probably the best execution you could ask for in that situation.
Good half. Really good half. It once again could have been better. We could be up 21. We could be up 28 if things had gone our way better early.
I'm gonna go piss real quick while you teach these guys about football.
You ain't going nowhere.
Teach them about the rules.
Guys, while Gary's peeing, I think this is the perfect time to talk a little bit about something I call offensive offsides. And it's been a problem. Now, we'll go to the chat here. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for hanging out with us. Jose in the house for halftime. Rizipped, Aeon, Bass Fishing, Colin, Big Schmioke, Conservative Husker in the house. Jose's happy with Raiola. Says he's a pimp. You ain't lying.
4th down here trying to make.
We're just showing these replays of stuff. Everybody take a second to acknowledge Gary's Mafia chair. That's where he puts hits out from. Jose says we're actually slowing down their run. Dude, I really wish ESPN wasn't worthless, because I can't even pull up the stats right now. Nothing's available. Do you have a line on what the stats are looking like right now? Because you're right. Like, they break off a run here or there, but it hasn't been devastating. They haven't gotten loose enough. Rushy G, what's going on? Said, what's the halftime stats? I'd love to. Maybe I can get them on my phone. Maybe Bleacher Report can hook us up. Here we go. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm just really looking forward to potentially being ranked again. I think if we win this game handily, we deserve to at least be the 25th team in the nation. What do you guys think about that? Okay, so I found some stats here. Sorry I can't pull them up on screen. Raiola has 120 yards, 1 interception. It was his first bad interception where it wasn't like, it was a 50-50 ball. You know, it was bad. It was a freshman moment. And that's cool. That's okay. Because it didn't hurt us. We did not have to pay for it. Dowdell out here chilling with 40 yards, 10 attempts, rushing for 4 yards a carry. Ramirez rushing for 6.8. Bonner 1 for 11, so he's at 11. But still, like, we are moving the ball on the ground against these guys, which I thought was going to be more difficult than it is. Receiving, Ramirez got 40 yards. Banks with 31 with 4 targets, 1 reception. Barney's got 28 yards on 2 receptions. Fidoni's got 3 receptions, 3 targets, 15 yards. Almost had that tutty for us. And let's look at the defense. Where is the defense? Wow, not many stats here. Wow, literally, like, they're paying no attention to stats on Bleacher Report. So hopefully ESPN gets it going, because I can't even find necessarily what we're doing as far as what we're stopping them for rushing. I guess I'll just look at their running back. All right, so Monangai has rushed 10 times, just like Dowdell. Dowdell's 10 for 40. Monangai's 10 for 65 with a long of 17. So Bro's literally averaging 6.5 yards per carry. That is rough. They're just probably going to lean even harder into that. We've got Callie McManus, a guy who's beaten us twice with Minnesota, on the ropes right now. Okay, Bro is rope-a-doping us, potentially getting ready to get knocked out. Dude's got 73 yards, 6 for 16, 2 picks. We've sacked him 1 time. Gary?
Did they learn a lot from you?
We went over the stats. All right.
Rule number 1.
Rules number 1. That's rule number 1.
You went over the stats, what?
Yeah, I just kind of went over the stats. Dowdell's rushing for 4 yards per carry. 6.7 yards per carry for Ramirez. And 6.5 yards per rush for Monangai.
Oh, Monangai.
6.5.
What's
10,
total?
10 for 65
on each side. I'll look it up. You probably don't know
Yeah,
what to look
try.
for.
ESPN's cucking us right now. And Bleacher Report isn't really built for stats. You know?
I'll tell you.
Penn State versus UCLA. You were telling me UCLA is going to be one of our easier matchups. bro, if this is the Nebraska that comes out versus UCLA, yeah, it's going to be a cakewalk. Penn State going hard on them. They ended up winning 27-11.
Man. They got to do a full rebuild.
How good's Penn State in your mind? And has Jenny Taft ever stopped texting you?
Not as of,
is that just like a constant thing?
Not as this recording.
She's still texting right now?
Yeah.
Well, you might as well give her a ring.
I mean,
No?
It's getting to the point where I think she should start showing up at the house and stuff.
Yeah, that's when it'll get rough.
They're at 72 rushing yards.
Okay. Is Iowa good?
We're at 96 with our backs.
I see they're 3-1 here.
They're Iowa good. They're like Iowa usually is.
Okay.
Like that prototypical Big Ten style. Pretty solid defense, solid running game. Really good running game.
Man,
Ooh,
they getting
that's what I
ragged
do
on.
to you.
Yeah. Just kind of shrugged me off like a child.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, they're up 21-0 on them boys.
Oh, it was 7-0 a little bit ago.
Yeah. Vandy, Alabama. I didn't even know baseball was going on, and I'd prefer it wasn't. That's where I'm at with baseball. Bobby said Iowa's okay this year, just okay. Cyclones beat them. Yeah, that was nice. Icy Ice says, shit, I might cash out.
Ice Spice?
Then have over 39.5 and any to cover 6.5. I was kind of hoping we could dabble our feet in some glambling.
Let me find you a halftime line.
Yeah, let's do something. I want to get me beak wet. My beak's
Gotta
not
get
wet,
your beak
Gary.
wet.
It's not wet, and it hasn't been wet.
Got to get your beak wet.
You know? And as usual, you'll cover my losses, right? Perfect.
Of course.
Living in Omaha said 100% baseball sucks. I just, I love to watch it in person.
I like playoffs.
I would actually go in person to any game, but
Nebraska's
fun
favored
time.
by 1.5 for the second half, and the over and under 17.5.
favored by 1.5.
Yep.
So they just have to, like, it's a 0-0
Let's not
game.
overcomplicate this. It's pretty self-explanatory.
So is that just for the second half?
Yep, that's why it's a halftime bet.
So that means in the second half we will score one
I'm
more
going to send you a
point than
second
them.
book called Gambling for Dummies.
I need that one too. Maybe they can bind them together so I don't lose one. All right.
I'm going to say Nebraska and over.
That's a scary one because what if it stayed? What if, like you got to imagine they're going to start pushing the pace. They might score on us.
I think them pushing the pace means them trying to throw more, and I think that is exactly what Nebraska wants them to do.
100%.
So if they score and you've got the over, fine, but you should get a
Gotta
lot
score
more
yourself.
3 and outs and more possessions. You should have more offensive possessions the second half than you had the first half.
I'm
even though they
sold.
get the ball first.
I'm sold.
1,000 on each.
I was going to say minimum 5 Gs. Let's put 5 Gs on Rutgers to win it and 5 Gs on Nebraska. How's that work?
All right.
My wife probably won't leave me. World Cup says the bigger question is how many runs could Callahan down during a Raiola 90?
Callahan?
Why do people
What's with all the
do people dislike Callahan?
Not that I know of.
I didn't think so either.
Let's see why you would.
Hold on. You take over for a second, all right? You're the heartbeat of this show, anyways. You're the
This
heartbeat
is
of
where-
Nebraska.
I'm just gonna let them listen to me.
Meanwhile, you're jamming food down your throat. I won't.
That's what everybody tuned in for. I don't know what the hell to talk about. Read the chat. What is the Callahan hate, or is it just not hate, just joking? Is that like a thing I'm not aware of? Where's that one he read? Woke up. Gambling is bad. It's in the Bible, so it's not touching your. So is not touching yourself. So, oh well, I guess. Well, I don't know that I've ever seen in the Bible where you can't gamble. 7 runs is 10 runs is. It's up there. What the hell happened? What's this pop up? We finished the first half in the most Nebraska way possible. We need at least one Nebraska moment per game so people know what game they're watching. Do you mean that last drive? Is that what you're saying is the most Nebraska way? Like not scoring or not end up having to punt or whatever, going backwards? I don't disagree with that. I didn't think of it that way, but when you look at the end of the Illinois game, they didn't play like that most of the whole game, and then all of a sudden when it came crunch time and overtime, they imploded.
Icy said God told him to throw 500 on Aaron Jones tomorrow. Praying emojis. I don't think that's how God works, Icy, but good luck. Good luck nonetheless. Also, guys, in the chat.
Not so far, day in the corn, man.
In the
trying to be good little boys this week.
In the chat, could we get a happy anniversary, Gary?
Well,
it's his anniversary.
Well,
you know, you think maybe someday there will be an evil Gary out there?
Maybe.
That's when you know you've hit it big.
That's how you know you hit the big time.
You know? When someone makes an evil account version of you. How many years, Gary?
5.
Wow. I said wow. That's a lot.
I mean, not crazy, but
it feels longer than.
What do you?
How's that fan treating you?
There's no fan.
A hot day in Nebraska, folks.
That's the win from outside. I don't have windows in this trailer.
You let the cat out of the bag, everybody. Is this game coming back soon, or is this just a cock tease?
No, not for a good hour and a half.
Hour and a half? Okay, let's get back to the.
Rusty, I'll give it a kick, man. I'll go throw my knee and hip and back out trying to make some field goals.
I've got all my eligibility. I ain't college educated. You know? Jose says Indiana is good. They got a good QB. Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be a fun one. You know,
I ain't worried about it.
I don't want to speak too soon, but that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a tough game today like that. And we might get it in the second half because we are Jekyll/Hyde. So I am expecting us to come out and not be as good as we were in the first half.
Well.
I
didn't think the offense played very well the first half.
I didn't care if it was first half or second. I just feel like it's only going to be for a half.
I'll tell you what you care about.
But I'll listen to you. So what do you think I care about?
Probably whatever you just said.
Thank you. Ugh.
So Indiana has beaten Florida International,
Juggernaut,
Western Illinois,
Juggernaut,
UCLA,
triple juggernaut,
Charlotte, and Maryland.
Okay.
And they're beating Northwestern right now.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think they're good, and watching them, it's like, yeah, they're going to create some problems, some mismatch problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think. Well, you know how I like to geek out and like watch highlights or games or whatever before I get crazy. But like just on the surface, what I've seen of them, I don't think. Like I think Illinois would beat them pretty handily, or like easily. I mean, not handily score wise, but I mean like physical and clearly look like the better team playing them. So I don't think that they're like going to be this task that it's like, God, we haven't played a team this good yet.
Sova boy, so funny.
Just different styles.
Funny because we can't tell if that was our bad half or our good half. It's true. Maybe that was the bad half. That'd be sick.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It's just
the defense is just
stout.
Handling it, dude. They really pulled themselves together the last couple of, few weeks compared to what we were seeing when we were really scared. Illinois just marching, UNI just marching. It was like, ugh. I guess you could say they're marching. I mean, bro, Manungai's got 6.5 yards per carry right now. Down there.
That's what I was saying. I'm worried about if they're allowed to keep, kind of pounding it like that. If it starts wearing on the defense and what we'd like to do or what Rule says he'd like to be able to do to teams in second halves and whatnot ends up happening to us. But you get a stop here, get some kind of points, and it's a 3-possession game. You're kind of forcing them to not be able to just be so run heavy, you know what I mean?
I think we're back, Gary. I don't want to jinx it. I pray for Matt Rule's blood pressure, bruh. All right? The man is 5 foot.
If I was Troy Bannon, I would call Rule into my office and be like, hey, bro, love what you're doing. Some people are more impatient than others on how the rebuild's going, but clearly in better shape we've been in a long time. But check it out. I'm willing to offer you a lifetime contract. If the next time you get holed by an official, you just walk out onto the field, punch him in the mouth,
throat.
I'll pay your fines, I'll pay whatever, and then you come back and do whatever you want. But just let them know that we're done with it.
I'd say a lifetime job for you, lifetime contract, but then lifetime contract for your son, basically legacy, if you run out on the field and spear him like Goldberg in his prime.
Go back to your Jerry Penn State days and just square up on him.
Take him down hard. I mean, we got, isn't it Terrence Knighton? Let's just send him out there.
Some pot roast out. Send Corey
yes. Out. Oh, they don't want to see Corey, bro.
Like,
they don't want to see
WWE
Corey.
Star.
All right. Because I'm pretty certain Corey is juiced to the gills. No
I know
judgment.
People keep talking about Foley and the special teams coach and all that. I'm not saying there's no blame should be put on him or like anybody's wrong for it. Like I don't even disagree with the statement.
Fire him now.
The dude has been with Rule for a long time and been part of some really good special teams units. So with your kicker being hurt and you're trying to get a freshman going along, I don't understand the whole thing with the long snapper. I know last year you got that transfer kid from Florida that kind of flew under the radar because it's a long snapper, but he was like a high end. A lot of teams wanted him, long snapper, and you're trying to find shit for that now. So, like, I don't know, man. Rule doesn't seem like the type of dude that he's, like, anxious to get rid of guys. But he has shown that, like, he has people he can fill in for. And I know a lot of people want Bill Bush back. That would be cool. He's obviously a really good, multiple areas coordinator, but special team coordinator. But I wouldn't get my hopes too high that Foley's going to be gone if you're in that camp.
Nebraska special teams, and then the doink.
That's all I'm saying. Not saying I disagree with them. I'm just saying I don't think it's likely.
We got Dale Patrick in the hizzy with a $10 dono says, we need to hire Bo back just to yell at the refs. And I agree. That'd be insane. Pay Pelini exorbitant amounts of money to be in the Husker mascot.
All right, here we go.
Please, please, please,
Man,
please, please. That's what I'm talking about. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay, Buford. Buford, you've done enough, sir. Buford, you've gotten your hands dirty all day.
Buford going from safety
Don't you
to corner.
worry.
A block punt deep in their own territory.
Big move. Smart move. All right.
Sit up inside the 10 and they come up empty.
Now,
Still 14.
Papa Bear's going to go ahead and take a pee break, but I do have a question. How much food do you have in front of you? You've been eating for 45 minutes, and every time I think you're done, you pull another chicken tender out of that basket.
First off, mozzarella stick. Don't ever get those two confused.
My
again,
apologies.
or I'll be coming down on you to make it right.
Shit. Okay.
All I got.
How
left now
many
is Wilbur's
mozzarella sticks? Is it Tanner's?
They're gone now.
Was it
No,
Tanner's?
she made a bunch of food.
Was it Swizzle Sticks?
It was Tanner sticks. Tanner sticks.
Tanner Sticks. Corey says, I like that Ty and Nash get some reward for staying there having fun. Absolutely. Both of them could definitely benefit from a high-profile year at Nebraska.
For sure.
Last year was not high-profile. So I don't think that –
No, neither one of them would have gone high in the draft.
no. But now they might go third, second. We'll see.
I think they'll go 1 and 2 overall.
That's why I want to say it. But
That's just me, though.
Toes and down belows.
as soon as it comes back.
Mr. Raj 48. Gabe will agree with half of that. And it ain't the last half. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know how to say this one. I say them all the time. Adham.
Aeon.
Aeon.
Yeah.
All right.
Aeon.
But he said this is what happens when you actually jam receivers instead of run away from them. 12-yard cushion. I agree 100%, but it's also a lot easier to do that in the red zone when if your jam doesn't work or you get a move put on you, there's not 40 yards open field for the guy to go. But I do agree. Like, I understand what Tony White's doing, but like the style of defense I like, that's not it. I'm with you. I'd be man-to-man almost every play and jamming as much as possible.
You'd be jamming the jam and man.
Then I'd probably get cooked for 4 touchdowns a game and people would get pissed, but there'd be a lot more interceptions too.
3. Nebraska defense.
Take it to the fourth quarter, guys, just like Gabe would like.
Shut up. But we probably should have put
Good job. We didn't score any points that
down.
quarter, but we got out of the quarter safe.
Hey, another
sake.
quarter down that they didn't score. If just that continues, you know what we call that? A shutout. All right?
Then we'll have 2 weeks to listen to. We should be top 10. No, we shouldn't. We couldn't even score more than 2 touchdowns on Rutgers. We shouldn't be ranked at all. We're shit. Yeah, but Rule's getting us better. Rule's trash. He needs to be fired. No, he's the greatest coach we've ever had.
Are you done?
I was just trying to think of more drastic comparisons. That
It is funny how back and forth the
like a tennis match. It's like watching a long ass tennis match.
Yeah, like this week we went realistic. You know, every week we've been like, why the Huskers won't struggle, bitch. Why Nebraska's gonna clap their cheeks. And everybody's like, you sons of bitches, we're not gonna win. And then this week we're like, Nebraska's in danger of losing. How dare you? It's like, we can't win. We're going to have to start titling our videos Huskers versus Rutgers. Our thoughts.
Just our opinion.
Is that chill?
Chill or nah? We need we need more Colorado type games where it's like clearly bait. You know what I mean? Like troll.
It's easy to troll Colorado fans.
I know, but I kind of, as much as they're annoying, I kind of wish there was more of them, like other teams like that. Maybe we could do it to Ohio State. We'll just get cocky as shit, like we're gonna dog walk them. Have all their fans just going nuts. These guys are the little typical Husker fans.
They beat Rutgers and then they think. Oh man, would be funny.
It'd be fun.
I just don't know if it would be worth the overall hit to our credibility because so many people wouldn't read that as the joke that it is, you know?
Yeah.
But it is cool that Colorado keeps winning these little games and stuff because it does make us look like, hey, we beat a team that's only lost to us, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what does that make us look like if you're a Colorado fan? If you're a Colorado fan and you took the waxing that you got, our running back broke Deion's son's body. He broke his bones. Okay? And we beat them to a pulp. And then they're undefeated and they're so, like, full of themselves even though they're beating no one.
Yeah.
Like, what then? What do they think of us? If they think that they're here, they must think we're up here now. And boy, are they wrong. Okay.
That was just a one-off bad game for them.
Oh, okay. My bad, dog.
They're still better. Dog.
Robert Smith here with you. 14-0 Nebraska.
This dude on mushrooms or something?
Rutgers.
You see that shit?
I didn't see it. What was he doing?
There's like a drone or one of the aerial cameras going over, and this dude, the student series.
Offense not as sharp in the second half here, but their defense has paved the way.
Raiola going deep, too deep.
And the fans wanted a flag.
That's a flag.
But bro,
I don't know.
he
I'm
threw
just gonna
it
say
20
that every
yards
time
deep.
there's an incompletion.
Yeah, and Eric Rogers.
It's cool to see Nair finally get targeted.
A little bit of hand fighting going on. You see Nair pushing.
What do you think? Is that you say they both were guilty?
I think if the ball's not so overthrown, they might. Well, they probably wouldn't have called it. But it's
Relax, rule.
More likely to be called.
Relax, rule. It's all
But
good.
you can make that argument that, like, yeah, he can't run full speed and have a chance of getting it when he's being held back. Depends on how long he's doing it.
Raiola gonna look deep again. Gonna roll out to the right. Throws it down. Incomplete though.
He's got to start letting those go a little quicker. I know that he's like improvising, but that's like the third ball as he's throwing it. They're close enough. They're hitting like his hand to the ball as it's coming out.
But that's the thing that I hate so much and you hate so much about the angle that they show these games. We don't know if anyone. What if no one was open? What if everyone is smothered in that sitch?
Then just chuck it away before you smack it. You want him to break his hand on pinky or something on somebody else's hand because he keeps. Like, I like that he's dragging the play out and shit. Oh, fake! Oh, touchdown! Oh, come on!
Oh my gosh, I couldn't get to the screen fast enough. Or what happened? Why was there such an extended break there?
Hell, I don't know.
Huskers win. Raiola giving some good sportsmanship to the Rutgers players. Unlike someone in Colorado.
But they will get to 5-1 on the season.
You know?
14-7 win And
You know what I like
Rutgers
the most
unbeaten
about this
start.
win, man, is that I respect Greg Schiano so much, and he's like a he reminds me in a way of big boy Illinois coach, where it just Bielema, it just feels good to get a win against these guys. You know?
Yeah.
What do you think?
About what? Like Shiano specifically, or just in general?
Just like, where are you with this win? Like, if it's okay with you now that the game's over, I feel a little bit weird being so close to you, so I'm just gonna go ahead and slide back up here if you don't mind.
I thought we were.
Well, we experimented, and now the experiment's over. Okay?
We'll have to
I don't want to
revisit that
experiment
later.
anymore. But no, this is a confusing game to me. I don't really quite know how to feel. Like, should I be
go back and
happy?
watch and
Should I
see
be
how much of
sad?
it is their defense had some kind of answer mismatch creation for our offense, why we look so flat and just. It got to a point where, like, one, I feel like the play calling was very, very basic in the run game. And then even in the like across the board, really, which maybe that was the design. Like, we're going to go take the air out of it and try to own time of possession, blah, blah, blah. That whole thing. You keep hearing them talk about the run defense or establishing the running game and how Rutgers' running defense is not very good. But it's like Rutgers hears all that shit too. They know the stats and what's what. So it's like, you have to think that they're going to be prepared that you're just going to try to pound the rock on them. But so when you can't, and then your little basic passing game isn't working, like, why are you not? We saw more wrinkles in the offense in almost every game this season, but than that one. And it's like, that's what I don't understand. Even if you don't drill the shit up in practice, it's not like stuff you haven't ran game time, which means there's been plenty of practice on it. I don't understand why, especially in the second half, you don't start mixing it up. It's like, no, we're gonna do this thing, kind of the same, along the same lines of what you were saying, where you're like, I'm not really mad that they're running it up the middle. I'm mad that it's not working. And it's like, well, yeah, it's because they're stopping it. Like, if you don't have something else to go, oh, they're stopping it because of this, so we'll do this so that doesn't stop it. Okay, other than that, throw something else in there, mix something else, have a different type of run play to call. I feel like they didn't try to run it outside very often. Everything that they were trying to get outside was off like counters where they started inside and came out, and then the edges were always shut down. But the pass game, I felt like the routes were just very bland, and guys weren't like sprinting their asses off, or there wasn't like double move things were to happen. When Raila rolled out, you'd see guys, especially in the replay, they're looking back at him just kind of like trotting along like, hey, sorry, man, I'm covered. And you haven't really seen that much this year, so I don't know. That's the only thing I'm really kind of, like I said, without rewatching it and seeing, are they doing like rotating guys for over the top, or didn't seem like there was a lot of bluffs except for maybe some of the blitzes. I don't know, or if it's just a flat game by the offense. But that's the only thing I'd really be kind of worried about. But you got 2 weeks now to figure it out. Go back and look at that, or see if you just didn't call a lot on offense. So it's like, yeah, we could have mixed up some things, but we were trying to, I don't know.
Part of me likes the gritty win, the ugly win. But part of me feels like this was such a good opportunity to blow out a team that, bro, you were wrong. Technically, I was right. That's not where I meant to go with this. I was going to say I was wrong because deep down, I did believe there's a great chance of losing. But once this game got going, it was like, oh, dude, this will be awful if we lose this game because we are so in control. We are clearly better. It's not even close, but we made it close. It's just.
Did you feel like we were clearly better watching that game other than defense?
I mean, we can't hear that tapping at all on the microphone.
They're better.
That shit sounded like a guitar.
I was playing a little something for the people.
a little. You just hitting a lick, folks. A post-game lick.
Something I've been working on for
Randy
a while.
with $5 says, "Keep it up." Thank you.
Appreciate you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's just like I'm worried. I'm worried that it's just so clear what's going to keep us from greatness this season. It's the fact that we can't play for 4 full quarters. We can't do it.
Yeah, so like that's what you have to start working on and working towards for next year, as well as your special teams. Like, that's kind of my point. What I was saying during the game is, it's not a black or white thing. It's not, you either suck and you're trash or you're competing for national championships. There's a ton of gray area in between there. And I think a lot of people, we get sucked into it as well, but a lot of people have a very, very difficult time accepting what stage Nebraska's at, or any team. Like, you would think after Alabama rolled up Georgia, no one's going to touch them. They're going to beat the brakes off of everybody, and hopefully somebody in the playoffs will get them. And now they're down to the wire against Vanderbilt, of all teams. So it's like, so now what? Are they trash all of a sudden, even though they spanked Georgia, last week before, whatever? Like, it's matchups, man. It's week-to-week matchups. You got a team full of humans that are going to be more gassed up or more ho-hum going into a game, depending on the opponent or the situations they got going on with their worlds. And then you've got other teams also preparing with scholarships and NIL players that are very talented to try and counter what you do. It's like you can't just look at, well, they did this against these guys. And this guy, I don't remember if it's this last video we did or what, when I was saying that, where I feel like people fall into that trap of, well, Alabama beat the shit out of Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern beat Vanderbilt, so Alabama will beat Vanderbilt. And now you're watching Vanderbilt beating Alabama. It's like, yeah, it doesn't work like that, man. That's why they play more than 4 games. You could have everybody play 4 games and go, okay, we'll eliminate all these teams that lost to this team because these teams all beat them. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more that goes into it than that, and you get excited after the way a team looks. Say the fourth quarter against Purdue, or the way we looked after the Colorado game. People were a little bit more gassed up, excited about things, and then really down after the Northern Iowa game because of the way they looked. And it's like, what are those? Is it effort? Is it this team did something the other team didn't? Which that is the majority of it, what it is. Like, they'll probably win a game that we think will be close by multiple scores. They'll probably lose a game we think they should win. Like, it's just week to week, man. That's the way college football is. It's not like the late 80s through the 90s, early 2000s, where you've got 4 teams that are for sure the top teams, 15 teams that are mediocre, and then everybody else is under there. And all those underneath teams are going to get the shit beat out of them by the upper teams. It's not like that anymore, man. You look every week at how many top 25 teams lose or are down to the wire. It's just, and we're not on that level. So that's what I'm saying is, like, getting out of the depths, the basement of college football, and being a trash team that wins 3 or 4 games a season to where we're at now, already 1 game away from a bowl game. That's a big step. I know it's not as big as everybody wants. There's people that accept it, or people that think they shouldn't even have that many wins. You got everything in between, but like, that's just the reality of it, man. It takes a while to get up to what a lot of these top tier programs
I've got so much slack to give because it's Raiola's first year. Second year, we're going to be a lot more fickle about things. A lot more Luke Fickle. I do want to bring up, first of all, I am keeping an eye, guys, on the post-game show. So
your ass.
They're still not live yet. Rule's not talking yet. I'll bring that up as soon as it happens. But in the chat, I just want to bring up, there are multiple people blaming Raiola, upset with Raiola. Maybe they're not Husker fans, but I think some of them are. To me, bro, it's 90% on the offensive line sucking and 10% on him and his issues. What do you think?
I think 90% of the issue is the play calling. I think you could have been way less predictable to the defense, even if you wanted to run every down. The type of run plays and then the type of pass plays they were calling were so dumbed down and vanilla that it's like, I don't know if they're trying to mess with Indiana's head. Like, we're not going to show you all this or that, or if they're looking ahead to some other game, or if it's just they felt like, dude, we can go very basic and still win this game. So we're just not going to put a lot out. Now, granted, there's already film out on other things, but I'm saying it's most likely you look for your opponent's last game or a game that they had against a team that is closest matched up to you, or, playalistic or stylistically. But then, yes, I would say the offensive line. They seem to have all kinds of trouble just when they bluff, just when they brought guys up to the line and then dropped one or both back. They're like, oh, shit, we don't have to get him. And then this guy beat a double team or, got between a gap. But again, man, like, I didn't feel like the route runners were like really like trying hard to get open and explode out of cuts and breaks and whatnot. It seemed really weird. Fedoni, I thought looked pretty flat with dropping balls, and for sure they were contested, but it's like your possession tight end, man. Your receiving tight end, that's kind of what you're there for, is to catch balls against smaller defensive people and be fast enough to get around the linebackers that are on you and stuff like that. So it's just all the way around. I thought the running backs did as good as they could do with very predictable run plays, but I don't blame. I mean, again, kind of the same thing I was saying with the special teams do. What would you want Raiola to do different? Not get pressured, not have receivers getting open. Like, yeah, we'd all like that, but I don't know what he's necessarily supposed to do. He had a bad throw. He had a couple inaccurate throws.
Sorry.
Did they really?
Yeah, go on.
But I'm saying, like, he had a couple bad throws, and he had a really bad throw that was an interception, which didn't matter because they bailed him out and got the ball back. So, I mean, I don't know specifically what you'd like to see Raiola do different that makes you say he cost us the game. And I'm talking to you specifically because I know when you say people in the chat, you mean you.
I mean me. I just don't have the balls to say it.
I'm just hiding behind this chat.
Okay. Senior Pimp said Mexican wife made dinner. Huskers win. Love it. Good till next Saturday. So I assume you personally are going to be responsible for eating as much food as 7 human adults. Is that what you mean by Mexican wife made dinner? Because that has been my experience. Chris says Raiola played his worst game of the year. That's pretty damn good for a true frosh. That's a good point, man. Yeah, he actually made a bad throw. And it was shocking. Yeah. It was like watching Steve Nash turn the ball over. But more Hawaiian. If you can believe it.
Anybody that's like upset with Raiola or whatever, I hate to break it to you, he's going to have worse games.
Just because he dresses like Mahomes, looks like Mahomes, is super talented like Mahomes, does not mean he's at Mahomes' level right now. Mahomes has...
I mean, even at that, look at Mahomes right now. He's having one of the worst seasons he's had. They keep winning, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, once... I don't know, man. It's kind of like and I don't like him, but like the LeBron or they used to say like the A-Rod factor. It's like these guys that are so good set a standard that even if they're better than everybody else, if they're not up to their own standard, it's like, oh, this dude sucks now. He's falling off. It's like, I'm not saying that about Raiola or Nebraska, but I'm saying there's levels to shit, and there's ups and downs and ebbs and flows from opponent to opponent.
They had one that starts right, comes all the way back, winds back, missed the tackle. So it wasn't like, oh, they've got us on this scheme. We're so grateful to have the iPads now because you can kind of look at it and be like, it's not a scheme thing. We're just missing tackles. They had the 1 3rd and 22 after the sack, and they checked it down, and he made a guy miss and got it to 4th and 3. So I think it was more that, to be honest with you. And we started playing some man. We played some bigger guys. Like Tony's a 3-3-5 guy, but he was playing some 5 down with 2 jacks today. I was really proud of him. That was like him leaving the family almost. But he did what we needed to do, and we played some 3-man rush. Some 3-2 stuff. So he had 3 different personnel groupings out there. And then I thought we won 3rd down and won 4th down. That was my key for the defense with this game. Was I said the defense had to win 3rd down. Rutgers gets into a lot of 3rd downs. If we won them, we'd get off the field. If they stayed on the field, they would wear us down, and that was, what we were trying to avoid.
What did you see from Brian Buschini today? Obviously, he went down with that injury. I mean, were you worried that he was out of the game? Then you call him for a fake punt and probably won the game with that last punt for you guys there.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. I mean, obviously he got hit hard, and we knew we were going to call that fake punt, and really almost called it the first time, and then almost called it at the 5-yard line, the one at the 5 when they blocked it. They were bringing 10 guys, and there was no one covering them, and then finally we called it the third time. But I just, Brian, what we thought was the unsung hero last week, and I'd say he's the unsung hero this week. And he did a great job on the last one. We were asking him the one-step punt versus the all-out max block, and he saw them drop out, and so he slowed down. He took 3 steps, and he just boomed that kick. And we took the ball today, wanting to have the wind in the fourth quarter and make them go into the wind in the fourth quarter. That's why we took the ball. And I thought that ball got up in the wind, and it spiraled and spiraled and spiraled around. I mean, had that young man try to catch it, it might have, it would have been a tough catch. I'll just say that. So, I'm really proud of Brian. He showed kind of showed the heart of a lion out there.
Did he almost have to? I mean, it looked like he was hurt fairly bad after the first block. Did he? How close was he to? You were warming up Camden Cook. Like, how close was Brian to coming out?
Yeah, I got out there and he wasn't moving, so I was concerned, obviously. And he was like, "I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. It's just my, I forget it was my back hip." And got to the side, and I said, "Hey, can you just throw the fake punt for me?" And he was like, "Yes, I can throw the fake punt." And then we had Johnny Hall kick off. And, I said, "Well, can you throw it into the wind?" Just, and he was like, "Yeah, I can throw it in the wind." So he was just locked in. I think he's the guy who's burned the boats in his brain. He's going to do whatever it takes. And medically, he was fine. Just, I think he just took a big hit and was hurt, just felt it.
The goal line stand, they had 6 cracks after that block punt. How impressive was that, and how important was that to the grand scheme of the game? Yeah,
I think the thing that our guys are learning is when you have some adversity, it's an opportunity for you to rise up and do something special. I think we're getting past the point of wanting things to be easy, hoping the other team doesn't play well, and just wanting to go out and play well ourselves. And so that's the message in this building. Hey, don't want it to be easy. Go out there and play. And I thought they took the field. They wanted to get out there. We took the PI, and they played hard. I mean, Tony had a little twist stunt. He ran twice, and Nash came around one. I forget. I don't want to not give credit to somebody, but they made big hits and kind of knocked it out of there, and then just defended the fourth down play. So just some really great stuff. And it was a tough day in the second half on offense, right, and really on third down. But we did come out and hit that ball to Jay Lloyd, which kind of opened the field up a little bit, and so then we were able to at least, kind of get out of there. And I might have the drives messed up, so you have to forgive me that things go fast for me in the game. But I thought the defense, they didn't really care what happened today. They were just going to keep playing.
What lessons do you think Dylan can take out of a day-to-day when they were coming after him and he had some moments he probably like back?
I think this is all part of the continuum of learning and growing. And I think you go back and you just say to yourself, what was it? What bothered me? But at the end of the day, let's make sure, at least for me, I have to make sure, we weren't high-flying today on offense. We weren't scoring. We scored 14 in the first half, which was good because they've had a lead pretty much every game, right? The whole key against a team like this is you got to get the lead and make them not play. Had they been up 14-0, we would have seen 70 runs, right? And so we did get the lead, and so that's what we needed from the offense. But the key is that we didn't, we protected the ball. We had the one interception on the RPO, but after that, even as he's taking those sacks, he's at least protecting the football, and we're punting the ball away. So, every week, last week it was the field goal, this week it was the punt, this week it was a couple sacks. There's a lot of things we have to improve upon in all areas. Kind of as we fix one thing, something else pops up. But, that was a day for the offense, as I said, to them just in there just now. They were having to draw new things up. And Greg Schiano is one of the greatest defensive coaches that there is, and he had stuff out there that was really confusing. He had Mike linebackers playing D-line, and guys were trying to figure it out. So we'll get better from it.
With the offense, you had several, third down, fourth down, short yardage tries. Brought in extra linemen, Liebentritt. Just what did you like about those looks and the way the guys executed?
Yeah, well, we know Micah's a big, powerful guy. He's been practicing with us, and so we were going to take some. We were here to win today. It was 4th and 1 on our own 30, whatever it was on the first drive. We ran power. We ran 4th and 1 on the goal line. We thought it'd be a good matchup for us. Him knocking the edge back. We really like Barrett Liebentritt. I think he's a guy that's getting better and better and better for us. even the one backed up, we hit that run. I think the big, today was a day of like, we run the fake punt, and this is not negative. It's just we run the fake punt, and they just tackle us, and it's like, oh, geez, man, the returner got us. Or we hit that power, and the safety comes across and gets us late. Like, kind of needed to step out of one and make that a 21-0 game. But it was good to get Mike involved in the game, and this will be a tape that we can learn a lot from as we heal this week. It's been a tough ride here, right? So, in terms of 6, not many teams in the Big Ten I don't think have done 6 straight games. Maybe a couple have. A lot have had a bye. So I'm glad we have a bye, and we'll see if we can get better.
Came in and mentioned that Kaliak Manis had you guys in this spot a year ago and went down and won the game. Was that in any way on your mind when you were out there, or was it just something that came in when you stepped up to the podium?
No. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we knew that as I try to orchestrate how the game could go, I always talk about how I wanted to go, and then, hey, the things that could happen. And one of the things for me was like, hey, if it turns into a throw game, like how are we going to play it, right? And they've shown excellent protection. They double chip both edges and they try to protect. And we played a lot of man early, and then late in the game, as we had the lead, we went to a little bit more zone after they hit those 2 deep balls in the third to last drive. But no, when I'm out there, I'm just my mind's just thinking, right? But I just know he's a good player, and so when you played against someone, you've seen what they can do. But I was happy that the field worked out where they were throwing into the wind, and I thought our pass rush really showed up.
It was warm there early on. This is the first season you guys have switched sidelines. Did you feel the advantage of being in the shade for the first half?
Yeah, well, I think if I'd have sat on the other side, I might have felt worse. I don't know that I noticed, other than it never felt super hot to me. I think I was more taken with the wind. I don't know if I've ever been a part of a day that's 95 and that windy, especially early on, and then gusting. And so even in pregame, the balls were kind of flying around a little bit. You remember now, I think they missed a field goal earlier, correct, right? Am I right on that? Right, so just thought the wind would be a big deal. It was unique in that the wind came out of the south. It was going
into
south
the
to
wind
north
is way more impressive now.
Pregame, and then when we came out for the kick, it was going north to south. And Dr. Elza does a great job. She talks, and they told us it was going to flip as the day went on. And so they actually gave us the win for the first quarter. And so I thought we did a good job early on in the game. It was just a lot of different factors out there, but it wasn't too hot for us. And again, we played a lot of guys, knowing that we wanted to be fresh in the fourth.
What kind of value is it to win one-score game? I know last week was a very close game, but this is a one-score game to prove to your guys that they can do this.
Yeah, I don't even think, respectfully, I don't even think it's even like, hey, you can do this. I think it's more like, how do you do this? And how do you do it is you don't start looking at the scoreboard and the clock hoping that it runs down. You play. I'm like, just go play. And so even at the end, they got that first down on 4th down, and you didn't see our group look dejected. You didn't see them. The defense just lined back up and played again. And Bushini you need some guys to make some plays, right? Bushini makes that punt. That punt's amazing in that condition. So I think it's just the how. The how is getting to those moments and having your heart rate not rise up, just continuing to play, and just trying to make one more play than they make.
Are you surprised they didn't go after that last punt of yours? And they just let him punt?
I don't know. Yeah, I think the thought was, hey, we're one-stepping it. Hey, let's go ahead and get it. Let's get it out and then return it. But I'm glad they didn't. I didn't know. That was my concern, was them blocking it. Again, and it's all a simple thing. It's some veteran guys. A guy. They're bringing one more than we can block, right? And so they're not covering anybody. They're coming after you. And so if I could go back, man, I'd have called that punt fake earlier, because it would have. You sit there, you're sitting there all week and you're saying to yourself, man, I bet you they change. I bet you they're not going to do it this week. I bet you they change. And so when you get out there and see it, you're like, oh, okay. And then I should have done it on the 5-yard line. So, but I think doing it, even though no points came out of it, I thought the guys on the sideline were energized. Like, hey, coach is with us. Coach Foley's with us. Ed designed it. When I say I called it, Ed wants to call it every time. It's just me being like, all right, as the game manager, okay, let's do it, Ed. So it was a big time call, and it worked out. It flipped the field. And maybe that slowed them down later on in that last drive.
What kind of boost did James Williams give you?
I'm sorry?
James Williams, what kind of boost did he give you? He's making plays. Talk about guys making plays. There's a guy right there.
I think James is a guy that's practicing. He's trying to get better. He's doing really well in school. He's growing in every facet of his life. I'm very proud of him. And, he practices really hard, and as a result, he plays really hard. This was a week that we did a lot of stuff with big people. So there was reps this week where him and Kai and those guys were going over the scout team and giving the offense a look. No agenda, no egos, just trying to get better at their craft. And then, again, because we took the ball early and because we were able to get a little bit of a lead, now you're able to pass rush at the end of the game, and it kind of changed everything. All right, thanks, guys.
It's pretty funny. He's saying that special teams coach is always trying to call that play, but he okayed it finally. I bet Foley is asking for that because he knows we can't kick the ball, but punts are a different story.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes to what I was saying with where he's basically managing the game. Like, the coordinators like are designing this shit and working with the guys and whatever to like make what he wants to have happen work. You know what I mean? Like in the simplest form. So it's like he's saying when they overload and blitz or, overload to punt block or goddamn to block punts or to block field goals. I mean, it's hard to put that on a coach, or when your snappers aren't comfortable and they're snapping into the dirt, or you've got a freshman kicker you didn't plan on having go because your regular kicker's hurt. You know what I mean? Like maybe you look into it more, whatever. I don't pay that close attention on special teams, so I didn't even really think of that, just the overloading aspect. But kind of the same thing with Satterfield, is he just like dumb it down? He said there at the end, we focused on like more package, like big body type packages this week in practice, where you've got some of your good skilled players on defense going over and working with scout team. Like, did you do the same thing with like Banks and Nair, where you're like, we're just going to run and have the speedy guys out there, and if we need a possession reception or two, we'll use a tight end? Like, I don't understand not being part of it, or getting to see practices or kind of get an idea of what the game plan is going in. It's hard to just rip him or rip certain players or a position group or a coordinator because you don't know exactly what they're trying to execute. I'm just saying, as before the game gets that close, I'm thinking like, okay, we need to open up the offensive playbook a little bit here, because whether it's by design, you're trying to be more of a ground and pound, short, safe pass, eat up a lot of clock and try to grind out yards offense or not, you start getting where you're running out of time and you're really leaving your defense out to dry. As great as they played and as much as they kept you in the game, it's like, okay, man, I don't care what you studied for all week. We're in the third quarter. A touchdown would put this away. It'd be a backbreaker. You know what I mean? If you could have got a 21-0 or even a 21-7 after they got that one touchdown, as hard as it was for them to get that. But I don't know.
I'm hopeful that this offense can get over this hump during the season. And if they do, they might be able to win a shootout that they're not supposed to normally win.
Say it again.
Hold on, a real man's talking.
Where's that goal line stand rank among moments that you've been here?
They got to readjust the camera. He's so damn big.
I just think it was awesome to see the guys as we huddled up. Everyone was in the same kind of mentality mode, whatever you want to call it. Just saying, we don't care. We're going to go out there and, we're going to show what kind of defense we are, and I think we proved today what kind of defense we can be.
When it comes to James Williams, not the biggest guy, but how does he do what he does out there?
Just through effort. I mean, the guy is constantly going. I mean, even at practice, we got some of the best tackles, I think, especially when we're going one-on-one pass rush in team scenarios. And, just his work ethic. I mean, it's just awesome to watch him go out there and do his thing. And especially since he's so open to learning from us older guys and Coach Knighton and Coach Rule. I mean, he can't get enough. So just to watch him go out there and see his hard work, come to fruition and see him do what we knew he was capable of ever since, we first signed him when he came here is awesome. It's awesome.
How motivated were you guys to stop one guy? I mean, you had about 60 in the first quarter, but then you had nothing the rest of the way. I mean, what was your game plan to kind of slow him down?
We knew what kind of running back he was. We knew he was probably going to be one of the best running backs we've seen. Last week in practice, I think Kenneth Walker deserves the biggest shout out of them all. Scout team running back was running, just as hard as him, if not harder, and allowing us to go live this past week for 2 days against the scout team offense. I mean, those guys made it fun and competitive and got us really, going for this weekend.
Can you say about Bushini and was that 69-yard punt just before the last series and how that impacted things.
Well, I mean, Buschini's technically, part of that defense, right? I mean, he's doing his part of helping us pin them down in their own 10-yard line, right? And that allows us as a defense to go out there and play a little bit more loose and more free because we know they got to drive, 90, 80 yards to go score a touchdown. So to watch him go out there and, battle through the adversity was really awesome. And it just kind of shows the character of him and, just like that mentality we have as a team. Because, that's all throughout the team. He's just done a great job at, showing it.
You want to give him a black shirt after that?
Yeah, we might have to.
Go ahead.
Getting so many fourth down stops, did you kind of see their offense kind of like demoralizing, just like, oh, here we go again, we got to get it, and then you guys just pounded it out?
I mean, that'll do that to anybody. I feel like if, an offense keeps getting, those fourth downs, it kind of, makes the defense have to think a little bit harder of how to stop it. But, same thing goes to them. I mean, they were a hard physical team up front, and there's no doubt about that. I have a lot of respect for those guys. I just think, our roster just decided to, play a little harder or whatever it may be. I had a lot of fun going against those guys.
How'd you guys feel going out last drive? 2 minutes left. They had a long field to go. What was the vibe like in the defensive huddle?
Well, I think the events, early in the game, all the big plays that were made, the 2 interceptions. I think we had 6 sacks tonight. I think they all, and even that goal line stop, they all fueled that last drive to go out there and just say, this is the defense we are, and this is the defense that we're going to, become still and be here for the rest of the season. So to go out there and, all 11 guys do what they're supposed to do, it ends up winning the game.
Hey, Tyus, you guys played 6 games, 6 weeks, get a bye week. How needed is this bye week? I think it's your last home game for about a month now, but you'll be on the road for a key stretch.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are fired up to still, it wouldn't matter if we didn't have the bye week or not. I think it'll be a good mental reset, mentally, physically, kind of get the bodies back a little bit. I know I'll need it, right? But, it's still going to be the same preparation for us, going against Indiana, 1-0. We're going to enjoy this 24-hour rule, right? And then, come tomorrow, watch the film, see what needs to get done, and then, execute that stuff going on this next week in the practices we have.
After what happened at the end of the Illinois game, how you guys played these last couple weeks, not that you had to prove anything, but what does it validate these last 2 weeks about the defense as a whole and maybe the team as a whole?
Well, I think I could say this is that we were, disgusted and kind of disappointed in ourselves after that Illinois loss because, that's not who we are. And, we really had to come back and ask ourselves who we really were and remember, what we were capable of, especially with the guys on the defensive side of the ball. But to watch, all aspects of the team kind of come together and show that we all can do this together. I think it started, at Purdue. It was awesome to go out there and get that win, and I think it just added on to, like I said, the preparation this last week. I mean, we were all aspects of the team were in watching film on anything we could.
Anything else for Ty? Your biggest takeaway from the Dominican Sue pregame?
He really pounded us, or I guess he kind of really asked us this one question was, what's your why? He explained what his why was to us and, why he was the player he was and how that motivated him. And I think, that was kind of a big message for us this whole week from, my own coach, Coach Nyan, to Coach Rule, to Dr. Stout. I mean, it kind of just seemed like everybody was coming from a different angle and just asking, what's your why? Why are you here and why do you do it? And, I think tonight we found out that a lot of guys found their why. And I think it's just going to get better from here.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get Gary's final thoughts. Yeah? Still muted?
I muted this one. I muted that one. No, man, just like what I said, you got 2 weeks to kind of look at why the offense did what it did. If you could get that out of the defense on a week-to-week basis, which you won't. Like, that's the thing is, like, you play Indiana, who's going to throw it more than they do, and you know you're susceptible, especially in that zone, to the short to mid range games. So it's gonna be like, why isn't the defense playing like it did against Colorado or against Rutgers or whatever? And it's like, well, they're not doing the same thing. So I don't know. You kind of learn a little bit. You've had pretty decent, at least, success with your offense most of the season. You ran into a situation, whether it was the way you game planned or what you wanted to do not working going into the game, or them doing something that shut down what you wanted to do. And then you try to adjust from that. You try to figure out where your weakness is at by how you play each week. And then you have things to work on and somewhat in practice. Most of the time in practice, you're worrying about what your game plan is for the next week. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, just figure out why your offense looked the way it did all game, and then get a good feel for what you think Indiana's going to do to you, and hope that you can be as close to this good on defense when you play them.
So we're going to try to figure out what we need to cover in a post-game video. Might pop that video out tonight. It might pop out in the morning into your feed, but be looking out for that. Also, you guys could let us know in the comments, like, of this video, like, what should we focus on for the video? Because I'm like I said, this was a confusing game. It's like I don't know where to begin or end. But we'll talk about that, and yeah, man, we'll see you guys.
You plan on doing any lives with no game?
Yeah, we could maybe let us know too if you guys want us to do lives that don't involve the game, where we're just breaking down stuff. Like, I understand some of you will, some of you might not care.
But especially like if people are in the chat with stuff, like, so it's more of a back and forth. It's not just us spewing our shitty ideas.
But also we've got a bye week, so we're gonna, we've got some extra time here.
We won't have a preview. We won't have a stream for that. All that type of shit post game.
So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. It was a great stream. We didn't get taken down yet, and shoot, we'll see you guys with a video soon. Thanks for hanging out. Go Big Red.
Go Skurs.